Visual feedback is another important but often forgotten about element of designing for iOS. Good visual feedback mainly goes unnoticed. By visual feedback, I mean anything that tells you that what you just did was expected and intended behavior of the app itself. The best example of this is a game called Flight Control. If you have sound turned on, you get a satisfying, unobtrusive ping every time you land a plane. You also get a transparent graphic overlay too. So even if you have sound switched off, you still see that the behavior was correct. What could we add into our app that would enhance the experience, but also tell someone that they've used it correctly? If we look at our app, there are a few inspirations we can draw from Flight Control, something unobtrusive and simple that tells the user that no other gesture exists in order to complete the intended action. For example, when someone wants to post a new thought for that day, with interactions, we can make it easy for that action to come into view. Upon saving, it would be nice for something to give visual confirmation that the thought has been saved and contained within the existing list of thoughts. We're going to briefly touch on touch gestures and transitions. I want to make you aware of how these are used and when they should be used. Just like good visual feedback, good gestures mostly go unnoticed. Gestures are any interaction of you and the device. Think how intuitive zooming a photo is, swiping a page, or a recent addition pull down to refresh. All of these gestures seem intuitive and friendly. Before you ask your developer to script a new one, ask yourself, will people understand and will they use it without instruction? I once had a client who was absolutely sure they wanted to create a new gesture involving a complex series of hand gestures. We managed to veto it on the basis that no one would ever be able to use it without significant instruction. Instructions that would create a barrier to actually using the app itself, so it got squashed. The same goes for transitions. These are best kept simple and in context of the app. You'll notice how in different apps, different transitions are used. For example, you'll notice how in a utility app, such as weather or stocks, the settings pane is accessed via a small info button. This causes the card to flip right around and reveal these settings for you. This makes complete sense as the UI is set like a card. However, this often gets overused in other types of apps, where it's there for the sake of using that transition. There's 5 main types of transitions. Zoom in and out, such as moving from one application to another. Slide left and right. Choosing items from lists normally invokes this. Slide up and down, normally for revealing utility panels and non-persistent panels. Fade in and out. Switching between views such as switching songs within the music app. Spin around. Selecting and modifying attributes such as widget or utility style app settings.